All right, this is Dawg Talk, episode 13, and we're here with our guest today. I don't want to pronounce this wrong. Is it Typhon?
Yeah, exactly. It's Typhon.
Okay, I got it. So we're here with Typhon today. He's a producer. He's a rapper. He does it all basically, and we're here today to talk about his music and anything and everything. So, what's up, Typhon? How's it been going over in Italy?
Yeah, it's going pretty good. Going pretty good. I mean, the coronavirus got us all blocked up, but we're seeing the light. It's just a matter of time before things become normal. So, give me plenty of time to work on music.
That's actually one thing that I wanted to ask you is, like, I know that Corona was pretty severe over there for a while. Like how severe was it actually from your perspective?
In the north side of Italy, it hit really, really hard. And the problem of the coronavirus, I mean, if you listen to the experts, isn't really about the actual virus, because it really, I mean, it's a small percent of people that kills. But if you don't have an adequate sanitary system, we're here in Italy, we don't. Then it becomes too many people to cure, and those too many people to cure goes in conflict with other people that don't have coronavirus, have to be cured, and then people have to make the decision to who lives and who dies. And so it hit really, really hard here, especially in the north.
Did that give you like a lot more time to make music?
Yeah, it did. It did, because staying at home. It was I had like the privilege to have a garden, so I'd go outside whenever I wanted to, train outside whenever I wanted to, and I study, make music, chat with a few people, and basically build a routine where I'd basically do the stuff I just said and try to stay sane as possible.
What was the greatest thing you gained out of that, time where you had all this free time? Like, did you release a lot of music, or did you, teach yourself?
Yeah, I released a lot of music. Released like 5 tracks during the coronavirus. So some of the tracks I already recorded. Others I brought my equipment to my house, and I started recording in my bedroom when everything was quiet around like 3 o'clock. So there was like no noise, no interference. So it gave me a lot of time, and also a lot of time to play checkers online with my girlfriend. Every night we would just go and play.
Checkers. Oh man.
Hey, don't hate on checkers.
No, I love checkers. I love it. But yeah, let's touch on your upcoming. It's not a project, you said, but it's like a series of singles.
Yeah, it's a series of singles. Yeah, because I already worked on an album and an EP called The Art of Failure. The album and an EP is called The Random EP. So in this moment, I figured out like working on an album is extremely time dedicated and extremely consuming, even emotionally, physically, mentally, because you have to. I mean, for me, an album has to start and finish, like the Pink Floyd's albums or Kanye West albums, J. Cole or Kendrick Lamar. I mean, those are albums. Or for me, like a series of singles together, like more mixtapes. And for me, an album has to make sense, tell more than one just story and flow continuously. So at this moment, I'm just trying to figure out in which direction to go musically. So phase 2 is more like an experiment I'm doing to see what I like to do, what type of genre I like to do more, because I do hip hop, I can do trap, I can do electronic music, I can do rock. So I'm just trying to figure out what I like to do, what is my genre, and try and express myself in different ways, basically.
I think that's really important
phase
too.
2.
Yeah, like narrowing down is always important. Like, keep it broad, but also find that one thing that you can just really get behind.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I like to experiment a lot also, so I just find myself one day making a trap beat, and the other day making, I don't know, some crazy shit with industrial sounds. Depends on how I'm feeling.
I kind of find myself doing the same thing too. Like at the very beginning of my music making like process or whatever, I started off by making like projects like EPs and like mixtapes or whatever. But I found now that it's just better to make singles like every month
Yeah,
and then just
same
release
here.
it, because you don't have to worry about being like coherent with a certain sound, or you can
Yeah,
just do whatever you want, you know?
yeah, exactly. And plus, you have to add the fact that nowadays our attention span is really low, and I noticed from
Hmm.
like the albums of I released and the EP I released, I mean, the numbers of streams started like I don't know, there was a number and then it just dropped exponentially to very low after I don't know 3-4 songs, because most of today people rarely listen unless they're like dedicated fans or they
Yeah.
really want to listen to an album. But nowadays nobody listens. I mean, not nobody, but there are very few people who sit there and listen to an album. Most of us, me included, listen to a playlist or a specific song or a specific mood. But
Yeah.
an album is more, time consuming, and frankly, to me, those albums, if I see it, when I see like an upcoming artist or even a well-known artist that drops an album like it's like 1 hour 30 minutes, I just become demotivated because it's too long. 1 hour 40 minutes, or
Yeah.
even 1 hour sometimes, depends on the artist.
Yeah, if an artist drops a project that's like even over 40 minutes, like it better be really good, because like
Yeah,
I can't like sit and listen to the same dude for over 40 minutes. It's just
See,
like,
my favorite band is Pink Floyd, so I can, but
yeah, same here.
it's
I
got.
saw Roger Waters live last year and it's incredible.
What's your favorite album by them?
The Wall, definitely The Wall.
It's just so out there. I really love that one. I think
Yeah,
my favorite, I don't know, it's always a
I
toss
mean,
up between that and Dark
yeah.
Side. Yeah.
Yeah, The Dark Side, and then there's also Animals, and those really dope as well.
Animals is
Wish You
just a
Were
classic.
Here. I mean, it's just there's so many great albums, but when it comes down, it's either The Dark Side of the Moon or The Wall. Depends on how I'm feeling, really.
Yeah.
Like with Kanye West, there's so many great albums with so many different, emotions and sounds. I went from
yeah.
like loving the College Dropout, and loving Yeezus, and then loving My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and even though I don't like the last albums he put out, Yay, and what's the other one? The
Uh
latest one.
Jesus is King, is it that one?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like that. Didn't like that at all.
Yeah. Is
So
he? I
what?
heard that. Go ahead, Allison.
Oh, I'm changing the subject, so go for it.
No, I was gonna change it too. It's fine.
Okay. I was just gonna touch on, maybe you already did, but I'll ask anyway. What really inspired you to get into music in the first place and start making it rather than just being a part
Listen,
of a group or
well,
something?
basically the spark came from my girlfriend. We were together for 4 years now, and it was back in 2016 where I was going through a phase, and she just like pushed me to express myself. Like not even I knew that it would go in this direction, so I just started writing rhymes and just expressing how I feel. It was something I've never done before. I mean, in the past, something I've never done in the past. So I just started with the idea of expressing myself, and my girlfriend helped me a lot. So it just picked off. It just, when something you like just picks off and you just flow with it, and you just know that it's something that you want to do. So I just started writing rhymes, and always used to find a beat. I never used to find a beat I would like, because and I heard that I don't know if you're both musicians or maybe you both do music, but when you make music, I don't know, you start from a beat, you start from an idea, from a melody. But when I was at the beginning, I used to start from like rhymes. So I just had like these pages and pages of rhymes that I never used once, because because the metric of the rhymes is different from the metric of the beat. So I mean, there's like one beat every 1 million that can fit that rhyme scheme that you created before the beat. So I mean, in time, my creative process changed, and so I mean, I got to the point where I have like 5 albums written down, lyrics which will never come out because it's something I've done like in 2016, 2017, where I used to like write all day, express how I was feeling and the thoughts I had. So, and in time, my creative process changed completely, and I'm happy for that because I find it really difficult starting from rhymes and then finding a beat. So now I just build them together. I have an idea, I make a beat, or with a chorus and something like that, and I just flow with it.
Yeah, I could see that. I'm just a singer. I don't have that issue. I just do what people tell me to do.
Yeah, well, but even when you write your own stuff, I mean, you start, unless you have like an idea of a vocal melody, but you start from like a beat or something, or you have a track and then you add your vocals, but it's rarely opposite.
Now, I have a question for you. How did you start building up your monthly listeners on Spotify? Because
with playlists.
With playlists is
key.
That's how you did it?
Yeah, playlists. You try to get on as many playlists as you possibly can, and you have to. It's sad to say, but you have to like pay some curators to have it on your playlist, and you have to see which ones are good and which ones are bad, and you have to like cross-reference Spotify for Artists, cross-reference an app called Chartmetrics that can tell you how many people actually listen to a playlist.
Chartmetrics.
And Chartmetrics. It's free and it's very limited. But if you pay, it's like $100 a year. I got the free version at the moment, but it's really useful to see if some playlists are real and have like good listeners, real listeners, and some others are just bots, or they have like 20,000 monthly listeners and then they have 2 average listeners on the playlist. I mean, it's really helpful to see if the playlist is real or not, because at the end of the day, you're paying them to be on the playlist, and Spotify gives you back like 10,000 streams at $10, something so little.
Yeah, which is
so
a different topic entirely. Let's not talk about
it. Yeah. I mean, it's completely different topics, and so you have to try to find the right playlists and try to find the right audience, and then try to kick in Spotify's algorithm, because when you get in that algorithm, I think it just changes. Because if you get in like Discover Weekly and stuff like that, your numbers just grow, because at the end you can be an artist, you can be an entertainer, or you can be both. I mean, by entertainer I mean being on Instagram or TikTok, and you can just build your audience from there as an entertainer and an artist together. But there are some people who are artists, some who are entertainers, and there are some who are both, obviously.
Yeah,
so
I think the entertaining side is really hard for some people.
Yeah, for me especially.
Yeah, so you don't have the knack for it. You either have to hire someone to do it, or
I mean, I'm really introvert, so I mean, it's not like I don't like putting my face out there. It's just too time consuming, and you have to think behind everything.
Yeah.
And it becomes a second job. I mean, social media managing is a second job, basically.
Right,
if you're doing music,
just really don't have time for. I mean,
yeah. I mean, if you're doing your own music, your own, if you're doing your own production, your own artwork, your own marketing, you're doing your own everything. I mean, social media marketing is something. It's another something on your plate, and it's hard for me. It's hard to balance, because you have to continuously come up with content and continuously record the content and try to make it seem as natural as possible. Otherwise, people, when someone's just faking it, or it's just cringe.
Yeah.
And that's not even touching on if you have a job or two, like.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a lot, but no, it's definitely, if you ain't got it, social media manager is so important, I think.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's just you need, either you can do it yourself, or you need someone who can do it for you. But at the end, I like to focus on the music, even though I know it's more the marketing side rather than the music.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I think about all the artists I like, I all discovered them not because of the marketing, of course, but they were placed there by marketing. But I like them because of music, like Pink Floyd, Kanye West, J. Cole, Kendrick. I mean, even Queen. There are just some tracks that really get you, and of course they have great marketing, but you become a fan of the music first and foremost, and then people get to know you because of the marketing and how you sell your brand and how people see you. I think it's like you have to focus on the music and then on marketing, because otherwise it all depends on what you want to do as a musician, as an artist, and in which direction you want to go. At the end, I think depends all on that.
Yeah, but you also have to have something to market. So
yeah, of course, the music you have to market. I mean, a lot of people say you have to market yourself, and the music is. I mean, you're the product, and the music is just a side fact, something on the side, and you're the main product they have to buy.
I guess, but it'd have just say an Instagram all about your life, and then you just suddenly throw music in there. You're gonna throw people for a loop.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of have to lay that foundation to start with. Like this is what I do.
Yeah, exactly. But I noticed that even if people follow you on Instagram, and one thing is they follow you because they like you, and another is they follow you because they like you and they like your music. So even if you have 1,000 followers on Instagram and 50 people go listen to your music, those are not good numbers. So I mean, it depends also on the genre. So at the end, I think it also depends on the music, because if your music is good and the people like your music, then they go and follow you on Instagram. But if people follow you on Instagram because they used to follow you before you started making music, and you don't really make music of their genre, they don't interact with you and do nothing. They just
right, they're just kind of scrolling past.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like a struggle for us musicians,
Yeah, I definitely see that. Just like trying to balance everything and make music and market yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like a lot.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, I made a song about it a few maybe months ago, and it's still in mixing because with the coronavirus, a lot of things stopped, flowing. And I'm making this track with my friend who we made an album together. It's called Omega, and he's a producer. So we were working on it together, and then during the coronavirus, it's just stopped because he has a job and he has a family. So
Yeah,
all the same. So we just that part of the music, that song, just stopped. So I started working also on other projects and other ideas, but eventually it will come out. It's called No. The song is called No Way. It just talks about what we're talking about right now, basically the struggle of upcoming artists, basically balancing out social media managing and content creating and stuff like that. Makes you go crazy.
Yeah. And how old are you?
24.
Yeah, so you're super young to really be, as understanding about how things kind of roll as you are, which is really impressive.
Thanks. I try to see follow so many YouTube channels and see what's the best way to go, and what's the things that can work and the things that don't work, and then try them out and see. Not in theory, just in practice. Also in practice.
Now, I just want to touch on one thing that we talked about earlier. It was about the playlist. How do you go about what people do you reach out to? Is it people on Submit Hub, or do you just go out and try to find these people with the playlist? And then
basically I tried Fiverr. I don't know if you know about the app called Fiverr.
Yeah, I know. Fiverr.
Yeah, I mean, there's some that say they can place you in playlists. I tried one for $10. The worst $10 I spent in my entire life. So from there, I mean, because there were so many 1,000 good reviews, so I went, okay, so let's try it out, and it was completely fake. I mean, I got one stream from the guy of the playlist, so it was basically useless. And then also on Fiverr there was another service I paid to get contacts from playlist curators. It was just lots of genres, so I had to go through and check the hip hop genre, and I was sent so many emails to the curators, but most of them would reply with the budget. If you want to get on the playlist, and top 10 is like $50. Top 20, from 10 to 20, it's $30, and you stay like for a week. So there, you balance it out with Chartmetric and see if it's worth it. And you see, I mean, even with Spotify, you can see, well, not on the mobile, but with the desktop version, you can see which artists, I mean, the countries the streams are coming from, and the most important playlists they're coming from. So if you have an artist that has, I mean, good plays in in the States or in Europe, and has a good playlist, you see a playlist. They're in a playlist. You click on the playlist and see if they have like an email submission or something, or if they don't, well, it's bad luck because most of them don't. And you try to reach out to as many curators as possible. I haven't tried Submit Hub yet, but I'll definitely try in the future. I mean, there's also Spotify playlist submissions like Spotty Grow, but never used it. And there's like playlist push, Spotify plugger, and there's one that's really good that I've used for like 3 times now. It's called Trees One Management. It's I don't know if you've seen their ads on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
They're quite legit. I mean, they have various services. I just tried them out once, and I was like impressed because they want bot plays, because you got placed in the playlist, and you could have like for one day you could have like 500 streams, and then the next day you could have like 200, and then the next day you could have like 1,000. So you could tell it was organic and not bot plays, because when it's bot plays, it's just basically the same level of streams for that period of time you're in the playlist, and then it just drops down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was more like it. So with this Trees One, I was like really happy, because I also got like many saves on the songs. Of course, you don't get back what you put in, because you get paid shit by Spotify, basically.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. But it's worth it getting the exposure in the long
Yeah,
run.
yeah.
Right,
I mean,
that's
I
one
think
of those times you have to take the hit and just.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm thinking when you have to use like these Spotify playlist placements, because before it was like the radio placements where you had to pay to get on the radio. Now you have to pay to get on Spotify. So
Yeah.
I think the only way to get in the playlist is like just to hit hard on the Spotify playlists. I mean, they hit hard on those these streaming playlists created by non-Spotify curators,
Yeah.
in order to, I mean, touch the algorithm, because when you touch the algorithm, it's better. I mean, it just goes, your streams go up, but the most important thing is to find the right people, because the right fans, because you can even be put in front of 10,000 people, but nobody likes it. You're in the wrong genre. You're in the wrong sub-genre. So it's a tricky situation. The music industry now is completely changed, and this is why I'm basically releasing singles and not albums or EPs, because at the end, a single is way easier to market than an album. When the album is out, it's 9 tracks or 15 tracks, and it's done. Well, if you have 15 tracks to put out every month, you can have like you have a whole full year of dropping music. So it's a continuous thing.
All right. Well, regardless, I have to actually pop off early today because we have a band in. But I heard your stuff, and I really just wanted to pop in and meet you and talk to you a little bit.
Thanks for listening.
And I think it's been really good. You have especially for your age, you have so much information that's just solid.
I suggest to follow Damien Keys on YouTube and Buratismo, I think they're called. They drop like content daily, and they're really, really dope. I mean, they're really, really dope. So check them out. I mean, I get my information from them because they're really, really well informed, and they're just they're not those YouTube content creators where they just say the first thing they know, and you can tell that they're really well informed. So check them out because they're really, really dope.
And what was their name again?
Damien Keys, he's one, and
Okay.
Buratismo, that's another.
Gotcha.
Those two, they're great, great to listen to, and they drop really great gems. And you can follow, and they're just you can tell they're in the business.
Yeah.
Because they've been doing it for years, and it's just really helpful to figure out, the dynamics of this industry.
Yeah, it's definitely a crazy one. Sorry, I had to leave early, but we have abandoned right now. So
That's okay.
my husband's an engineer, but
that's okay.
But yeah, anything you want to shout out just for the podcast?
I don't know. Well, continue with your job with your podcast because it's really great. It's been really great talking to you guys, and it's like my first podcast ever. So it's been really emotional on some aspects. So thank you guys for inviting me.
We'll have you back on when you put a few more things out, huh?
Definitely. I've got a track coming out on the 21st of August. So really, it's an abstract, experimental electronic track where basically I just sampled some sounds of my phone and just went crazy with it.
Well, if you want to send me that, we can use like a tiny snippet of it in the show.
Yeah, definitely.
Or whatever
definitely.
song you want, it doesn't matter.
Definitely. I'm going to send you one where I'm just called 21st Century Stars because I'm really pointing on that track because I've got nearly 20,000 streams on Spotify. And I don't know if you've listened to it, but the artwork is basically me taking the picture by the Google streetcar. Basically, one day when I was going to throw some things in the rubbish bin, I just walked across the Google car, and it just. So I was really surprised.
Wow.
All right. Well, thank you for being on.
Thank you for having me.
Anyway. I'll let Luke finish up with you. Thank all y'all for listening. If we have any listeners this week, sorry we've been bad the last 2 weeks. Yeah, and I love your stuff.
Thanks. It means so much to me.
With a new stars. Don't give a fuck about who you are. With a new star.